Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Crystal and this is my social thread. This is a sewing vlog where I talk about all of my sewing projects. So if that's content that you're interested in, please do consider liking and subscribing. To all my new viewers, welcome, and to my returning viewers, thank you very much for coming back. So today's vlog is all about my makes for March. I have discussed some of these garments already in my previous Friday Sews vlogs. But I thought that at the end of every month I will do a roundup of everything I have made for that month and title it Makes of the Month, so that if people are interested in looking at just the roundup of the month, then they can easily find that in a separate vlog. Okay, so let's begin. The first thing that I made in the month of March is my Billy sweatshirt, which is what I'm wearing today. So it's this Tilly and the Buttons Billy sweatshirt. And these are the line drawings over here, and I've made the straight sweatshirt, but I've done the normal shoulders and the balloon cuffs, and this is made in a beautiful French terry from Jelly Fabrics. It's a dark pink with a leopard print on it, and matching ribbing from Jelly Fabrics. I've also made another one in a fabric from Jelly Fabrics as well, and I'll pop up a picture here. Sorry I don't have it to hand, it's in the wash at the moment because I love these jumpers. I have them on cycle every week. I wear them. I wear a sweatshirt every day when I'm at home. Very comfortable, a very lovely make and very easy make. So that's the two first items that I made in March. The next two I will talk about my So Frugal makes, actually. So they're the latest ones that I've made, and the first one is this blouse over here. This is the Ella Blouse by Mood Society. I'll pop up a picture of the pattern, and it was my first entry for So Frugal 22, and I have made it in a beautiful bottle green crepe from Fabric Godmother. I don't know if you're seeing that colour, it's coming up quite dark on the screen, but it's a lovely forest green colour. And I'm actually very surprised by the pattern, because it is a free pattern. I think most people tend to think that as a free pattern it's not going to be well drafted, or the instructions aren't going to be very good, and the resulting item might not be something that you would want to wear over and over again, or something that you would like to make again. But funnily enough, this Ella Blouse is so beautiful. The things I like about it the most are the gathered sleeves. I don't know if you can see the gathered sleeves there. Lots and lots of gathering there, and that kind of gives it a lovely lovely bit of detail there. It has a very vintage vibe, which I like. I also love the balloon sleeves, which are the balloon sleeves here, and the cuff. So when you wear it, the cuff sort of goes up a little bit, and the balloon sleeve sort of drapes nicely. So what I like about these sleeves is the cuff is just a rectangular piece of fabric folded over, and then that's just the sleeve is just gathered onto that cuff and attached together. So there's no like closure and a keyhole bit that you normally get on shirts, which is nice, and so that just slips over your wrist quite easily. There you go. And so that's quite an easy cuff to make and attach, and it has a lovely effect on the blouse, which is what I like about it. Again, a very vintage sort of detail. The one thing I didn't like was the ties. Now this tie I have actually folded, well actually the pattern piece I have graded down to make it slightly narrower, so I think it was sort of about that thick, and then I made it slightly narrower. But even so, I attached that to the blouse, and it was still so big that I just basically folded it over to make it half the width size. But now it's sort of like a chunky tie, and I'm not really keen on it. And also with the crepe, it doesn't really press very well, so it's very hard to get crisp edges, especially on this tie. You can see it's quite bouncy, and even on the seams, if I show you the seams, like the dart there, that is quite bouncy, but I think that's the fabric and not the pattern's fault. Again, I didn't have the matching thread. I have like an emerald green thread that I had to use because I didn't have anything else, but that's not too bad. I did get matching buttons though. It's just lovely sort of flat shank pearl buttons there, and overall I really like it. Next time round I will change the tie. I will just, and also sorry, the opening at the neck. So let me show you the opening of the neck. So it's basically just a shirt, but without the collar. You've just added sort of this tie on top of it. And what I will do is I will raise this neckline even more, because I'll show you the pattern piece. This is the original bodice pattern piece, and the neckline was actually all the way down here. I then added this bit up here to make it to make the neckline higher, and even then when I wear it I still have quite a bit of neck showing, and I quite like the pussy bow where it's actually sort of tied at the neck. So I have added another piece up here to make the neckline higher, and I've basically used the bodice for the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra, which I like because it's a shirt bodice, and I've basically just traced the neckline of that. And also the Tilly and the Buttons collar stand, I have used that as the width for my new pussy bow tie, and then I will just extend that to the length that I want it for and attach it to there. And apart from that, I really like it. I will be making some more. I have got a burgundy crepe, which I can't find right now. It's in here somewhere, that I want to make another one of. And also I have some lovely, I'll show you this one. This lovely cotton lawn from Lady McElroy. It was part of their remnant sale. Oh, it's beautiful. It's like a greeny, sagey greeny background, beautiful pink and coral hydrangeas, and I'm not sure what these little white flowers are called, but it's just so silky soft, beautifully drapey, and it's Lady McElroy. So I want to make another one of these Ella blouses in this fabric as well. So that's my third make, and this was my first make for my So Frugal entry. The next make is this dress over here. It is the Gambit Dress from Mood Fabrics, from Mood Society, and I'll pop up a picture of the pattern here. Again, this was part of my So Frugal 22 make, so it's my second entry. And I'll pop up a picture of me wearing it, the blouse, the Ella blouse by itself, and the blouse and the dress together. And this is made up in a beautiful needle cord from Lady McElroy. I believe it's called Chatsworth House or something, in the old gold colourway, and it's beautifully soft. It's got a lovely colourway to it, and it just looks expensive, I think. But also I think because it's a cord, it kind of has a vintage vibe, and I quite like it. So it's basically a pinafore dress. You can see the sort of V bodice here. It's got princess seams along the front. And it's got an invisible zip at the back, although my invisible zip isn't very good. And there you go. So in terms of the pattern, again, the pattern pieces were drafted nicely. The instructions were good, but it had no instructions with regards to attaching the lining. In fact, in the materials, it didn't even have lining as one of the materials. As I was reading the instructions, it then just said, do the same for the lining. So I thought, oh gosh, it needs a lining. And I just got some inexpensive sort of anti-static lining material, which I had in my stash. And so basically, with the lining, I had to figure out how to do that myself. And what I did in the end, I sort of did a burrito method. So the side seams are beautifully enclosed, as are the back seams, and the front seams attached to the outer fabric, that's beautifully enclosed. The only problem is I couldn't then figure out how to enclose the shoulder seams. So it was either a choice of having the shoulder seams exposed like this, or the armhole seams exposed. And I thought the armhole was more an integral part of the dress that I wanted to be neatly finished, whilst the shoulder seams I could sort of hide. And I'm sure at some point, if I am I will be making this dress again, I will have to look at, I believe, Sew Over It for their, is it their Betty dress? She has a tutorial for how to fully line a sleeveless bodice using the burrito method as well. So I will have to watch that to figure out how to fully enclose all the seams with a lined sleeveless bodice. What else happened? So, yep. Also, the skirt, the original pattern, it calls for a full circle skirt. Unfortunately, the width of my material was too narrow, so I couldn't get a full circle skirt in. I tried to get a 3/4 skirt in and a 1/4 skirt in, and none of it was happening. And I just thought, what am I going to do now? So it popped into my head, I'll just do an A-line skirt. Funnily enough, you'd think I could just draft an A-line skirt by myself, but no, I had to check a tutorial out to figure out how to do an A-line skirt, and that worked out quite well. And I just attached that to the bodice of this dress, and altogether I think it's a very successful make. It isn't the best sewing, unfortunately, so my back seams, this is like, ugh, horrible. The back seams don't line up, which is a bit of annoying. It was just quite annoying. And also I did spend a lot of time pattern matching when I was cutting out the fabric, but as I've sewn it together, it's not happened. So obviously I tried to pattern match that corner of that flower to that. Again, these leaves are supposed to be pattern matched, but they've just slightly gone off. Again, with the front of the dress, these leaves here are supposed to match with these leaves, and this rose here. It's not too bad, but the fact that I spent so much time pattern matching it, and then for it not to pattern match is a bit of a shame. But anyhow, that's just those little things that you notice when you make your own clothes. So that's those two. The next make that I made in March was another Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress. And this was my entry for So Recreate the Look. And I'll post a picture up of the photos for that, of me wearing it. And I have made it in a beautiful cotton linen mix fabric. This is designed by Megan Isabella for Nerida Hanson Fabrics, and I bought it from Sew Me Sunshine. And as you can see, I mean, the pattern is just, it's a bit bold. It's not for everyone, I don't think, but I quite like it. I love the dark navy background. I love all the flowers. I love the fact that you also have bees and ladybirds on there. And also the fabric was the most similar fabric I could find that matched the Bowden dress that I wanted to recreate, hence obviously the Recreate the Look entry. So again, this is my second long sleeve Lyra. So it's got the long sleeve there with the elasticated cuff. And as you know, for those of you who've watched my previous vlogs, I love the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress. I've made about 5 now. 5 short sleeve ones, 1 long sleeve one, and this is my second long sleeve one, so 7 altogether. And I really, really like it. I don't think I'll ever stop making these. I think they're great. And there you go. So that's that make there. I forgot to put a label in it, which is a shame, but I think the fabric speaks for itself. It doesn't need a label. So that's that make. The next thing I made in March was this dress here. It's the Forget Me Not Patterns Deline Dress. I'll pop up a picture of the pattern and then a picture of me wearing it. And this was my entry for Sew Yellow for Endo 22. And it's made up in a beautiful linen mix by Lamazi Fabrics in a mustard yellow, but it's a bright mustard yellow. And I really like this dress. This pattern was gifted to me by Joe of Forget Me Not Patterns. And it consists of, it's a fully wrapped dress, so it's not a faux wrap, it's a fully wrapped dress. It has pleats at the waist, front and back. It's got this lovely shawl collar, which is quite modest actually. Like it's quite a high wrap rather than some dresses are quite a low wrap, so that's quite nice. And I went for the short sleeve version. And it's got pockets as well. So it has pockets here, and the nice thing about this, some detail, it's bias bound, and I've just chosen a contrasting bias binding. And here it's got like I think they call it a tack here. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, so basically, with wrap dresses, when you sit down, normally the skirt pieces open up and you kind of expose your legs and whatnot, and this just prevents that those two wrap pieces from opening too wide. So that's quite nice. I am going to make another one of these dresses. I am making a sort of 3/4 length version for my daughter for Selfless So April 22, which is a challenge that I'm hosting with Adele from Sofa Serenity next month. So I'm making her one in, I can't find it right now, in a linen mix. Yes, it's a linen cotton mix from Fabric Godmother in a rust colorway. So I'm making that for my daughter, and hopefully she's a different size to me. She's actually bigger busted, so I will have to retrace the pattern for her. So that's that one. And then last but not least, I made a coat in March, and it's the Burda style coat here, and I made this version here. I'll show you the line drawings. I omitted this line here and just cut the coat in one piece, and I've got the patch pockets and the tie, and the coat is here. I've made it in a beautiful 100% wool, herringbone wool, ex-Ted Baker dead stock from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn, and it's actually in a lilac-y purple fleck. And then beautiful lining, Pima Cotton Lawn, Peter Horton from Fab Works Mills. You can see there's a little leather label by Little Rosy Cheeks, and a little chain here for hanging it up from the hemline. And I'll pop up a picture of me wearing it here and some details. And this is my first coat ever, and I'm quite happy with it, although it isn't a fitted coat. And I think now that I know, well, now that I've made one coat, I have a bit more confidence to make a more fitted coat. So I am going to do, actually, I've got the Cambria Duster coming up, the Friday Pattern Company Cambria Duster, which I have right in front of me. This one. So again, it is a very similar style, and I've got a boiled wool coming for that. But I am going to do this one, and then after that I will venture into making a more fitted coat. I've got the Romana coat by By Hand London, which is quite a meaty one, and also the Isla trench coat by Named Clothing, and also the Jazika blazer by Closet Core Patterns. So now all three of those do have quite a lot of tailoring techniques in there, but I'm hoping to maybe do like a slow sew 1 month, probably not next month, because I will be busy with the Selfless Sew April 22 challenge and my other makes that I need to make, because I have 2 weddings to go to, so I probably will save that for, I don't know, July, August, in readiness for sort of autumn, winter. And that's it so far. Well, that's it for the month of March. So it has been a very, very busy month with all the challenges. All the submission dates for those challenges have now come and gone. So everybody's just eagerly waiting to see who wins a prize. That's always exciting. Obviously, taking part, as they say, is the best part of it. But if you do win something, then that's like a bonus, an extra bonus. Thank you very much for watching. Please do kindly consider liking and subscribing. And I'll see you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.